Shakalaka! The Knicks are grit. These kids and our party just lit. Bet is the littest. Good. You know we lit. Good. You know we lit. You know we lit. You know we lit. Turn up, no we lit. Turn up. You know we lit. Let's go deep time. You know we lit. Mrs. Nixon. You know we lit. Kev, what up? You know we lit fresh, that's the parlay lord. You know we lit Knickerbocker, have a talk. Let's go! We lit.
Yeah. Live and direct once again on your YouTube screen. It is your favorite Knicks in this panel. And of course, y'all already know the vibe because the hat tell you who I am, you heard? The one and only Parlay Lord, aka Brass Taz here in the building with the Knicks and Ish panel. Never limited to, but always included. The first lady of Knicks and Ish, Mrs. Knicks in the building. Yeah. Join me in giving a salute to my good brother, the one and only Knickerbocker Ave. Yes, sir. And of course, y'all already know who he is. Mr. Yaki Salvin himself is in the building. The one and only Kev Rodriguez. He is here with us tonight. So, as always, because I ain't been here in a while, press like for your favorite panel. Share it as always, Ken. And if you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you turn the bell, but also you get all notifications when Knicks and Ish goes live. And of course, I know y'all like that hat, right? Go check out the Knicks and Ish Shopify. The hat is in there. Copy yourself submerged. You be rocking with the Parlay Lord and your favorite Knicks and Ish panel. You know what I mean? But enough about that. Let me set the table real quick. Then I'm going to give the panel their initial thoughts. You know we got to go to the comments first. Michael Brown is in the building. Shout out to you for the pull-up. Sis, my day one Darlene is in the building. Shout out to you, sis, for always being here. You know what I mean? Stephen Kennedy, welcome in. Good brother. Big that Michael Pringle, yeah, that's Michael Pringle, of course. We see you out there. And please be advised, ladies and gentlemen, the Pulse Police is in the building tonight. Uncle Paulie is here. You already know. What up, Carl? Jimmy J1 is in the building. He know the vibe. You know what I mean? So, I think tonight's game was a one-sided affair. 3 words come to mind of the night's game, but I'm gonna let sis tell y'all what the 3 words are, cause
belt to ass.
You know she could have resisted. So 128. What was the Bucks score? 90 what?
127-98.
Oh yeah, I had the 8 and 7 roll. 127-98. New York Knicks, end-to-end, straight obliteration of the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. Somebody, please, tell me what they thought about tonight's game.
It was a yawner, a little bit. What? I don't know. I mean, it is to be expected. The Milwaukee Bucks are not the team that they want. They once were. This is a team that you're supposed to beat up and beat up badly. They ain't shit without Giannis. I don't think they're shit with Giannis now. But they're just not a team to be reckoned with in the Eastern Conference. So the Knicks, knowing full well what they went through in Cleveland the other night, which, again, we're apologizing that we didn't show up for that. But the reality is that, life be lifing. But the Knicks, they shit the bed in Cleveland, so they had to come out strong tonight and put down a statement. And I think that, the 3-point shooting, it worked tonight. 21 for 42, 50% from behind the arc. But I'm still questioning as to what are you going to do when it doesn't fall down. But fortunately, Cat had a pretty good game. The captain was working the inside out game. I think that all the Knicks contributed, to this victory on both sides of the floor. But again, are you really that happy about it considering, the quality of the opponent? No, but a win, a W is a W, and a salute to the Detroit Pistons for taking care of the Cleveland Cavaliers and giving us, some breathing room. And now we're in third place, solely by a game and a half. So, cheers to them.
To be honest, I'm happy. I don't care that we got a win because what I saw in Cleveland was completely unacceptable. And we've seen this time and time again where the Knicks have these good games and have a couple of good games, and then we have games like Cleveland. So for me, the inconsistency at this point in the season doesn't make me happy. Yeah, we shot 50% from the 3-point line, but again, living by the three, dying by the three is not the name of the game. It's not going to win us a championship. So, winning tonight, yeah, it's a win, but it doesn't make me like this coach, nor his philosophy, nor what he's done to the team that we love. It doesn't do it for me. As a fan, you're supposed to be happy when you win, but knowing again that there's no plan B for this team. If the threes don't fall, there's no plan B. That makes me really nervous about the playoff run. It makes me nervous about these next few games that are tough as hell. And if we're not on our P's and Q's, we're going to suffer and it's not going to be pretty. And so, I take the win, but it just doesn't satisfy me as a fan.
Kev?
I think obviously we did what we supposed to do, and that's just beat up teams that we supposed to beat up. That's it. That's what we did today. I'm not I'm taking this game as something to work on for the next few games. Work on your mistakes, work on getting better, things like that. Because I mean, to be honest with you, when we face these tough teams like Toronto, San Antonio, and those teams are not easy to beat. San Antonio's on a roll, so watching them play like this against the Bucks, okay, cool, we blew them out. But at the end of the day, we needed to make 23s against the Cavs, and we couldn't do it. And then after we shot all them threes, we couldn't figure out a way to do anything else. It was just chuck up threes, and that was it. There was no attacking. There was none of that. Not like in this game. You know what I mean? Um. Uh. What has the coach worked on thus far in the season? I don't know.
Not a damn thing.
He the fucking liar.
Not a
I
damn
just pulled
thing.
up a clip today in the chat when he was saying that he was gonna throw 3 lobs a game to Mitch. When he was saying that we was gonna be a faster team because we was ranked such and such, and we haven't seen none of that, and we're ranked pretty much at the same time last year when it comes to pace and all that stuff. So I mean, at the end of the day, like we did what we were supposed to do. Was I impressed with this win? No. I'm glad we got the dub. I would have been more satisfied had we played like this against Cleveland, to be honest with you. And listen, I gotta give Cleveland their flowers because they were a different team when we faced them this last time, because now they got better. If you ask me, they look better with James Harden and Dennis Schroeder coming off the bench. If you ask me, those are two big pickups that completely changed that team. And we struggled big time against them. We looked like a bad team playing them, bro. So, our team got to really get it together when it comes to playing defense against these top contending teams, bro. These are the teams that we're going to be facing in the playoffs. If you go into a playoff game shooting over 33s and only making 5 of them, you're not winning. You're not winning that game at all. So I think that the Knicks still have a lot to work on right now. And for it to be this late in the season and we still having these problems, it's a big concern for me, to be honest. It is.
Thank you so much, Fraz. Before you give us your take, I want you to take a look at your parlays because your boy just got the 6 assists. Real quick, like I told you, he was good for it.
Wait, what happened? You say Jokic got
Jokic.
10? What?
He's already at 6 assists, so you should hit that last leg.
Well, we'll get to that a little later on. But as far as these last couple games, first and foremost, shout out everybody in the building. I ain't been here in a minute. Y'all know the vibe. Y'all know what it is. I'm here. But when it comes to the Knicks, the one word I've been talking about all season long, that Sis mentioned when she was speaking earlier. Consistency. We have not figured it out. We have not figured it out, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you believe so or not, we have not figured it out. And that's going to be a problem in the playoffs if we can't play consistently in order to take care of business against the team we're going to be facing if we do end up making the playoffs. But the Knicks have to find some way to bring the same intensity every game. It can't be against teams we're supposed to beat. Right? It got to be against teams we not expected to win against too. Like you got to try to take every game the same way. Pause. Like literally, I'm trying to beat the opponent. Like there's no reason why we shouldn't be trying to win every game and playing the same consistency every game. Like I just don't get it. But again, a win is a win. We won the game, but it's not like, these are wins we expected to win. So again, I agree with the consensus of the panel. This is not a game that I'm really like, oh yeah, we blew them out. No, we're supposed to beat them. You know what I mean? These teams are supposed to be easily packing up. We want to beat the top team, so that way, the ultimate goal is the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
What kind of surprises me is that these things are being said now, 50 games into the season. We're now entering the month of March in the NBA in this 25-26 season. And we're still having the same conversation of who are these New York Knicks? Like, who are they? If you compare them to the team last year, and I know that we're not going to get into that whole Thibodeau versus Brown thing, but we're 2 games back from where we were this season. We're 2 games worse than we were last season, which some people might say that shouldn't be, that's not totally bad. But considering where you were projected, who you were projected against, and what this season means. I'm like, I wasn't expecting for us to sweep the season series against the Pistons. That was out of the question. I knew that they were going to take 1, maybe 2 out of the 3. But not only to lose all 3, but lose all 3 by a total of 80-something points. Then you go into, you're coming out of the All-Star break, you beat up on Chicago, whoop-de-doo. You beat up on Milwaukee tonight, but then you shit the bed against Cleveland. Now, I'm not saying that Cleveland is that much of a threat. I still think we take them in a 7-game series. But you know, as the New York Knicks, as you know, one of the heavily touted favorites in the Eastern Conference, you know that you have so many opponents gearing up to meet you, no matter if you're playing at Madison Square Garden or you're playing on their home court. And I want to give a special shout out to Hector and Nikki over at Uptown Sports TV. That they had me on for a few minutes last night for the Latino sports thing, and I said the same thing there, and I'm going to say it again. Where is your pride? Where is your grit? Where is I'm not even talking about the New York in front anymore now. Where's your pride as professionals, as basketball players? I understand that throughout the course of an 82-game season, you might get you fall into the lull and up and downs throughout the marathon. And I know it's a marathon, not a sprint. But when you know that somebody's coming to get you, they're coming to embarrass you, they're coming to beat you, they're coming to make a statement at your account, at least show a little bit of pride and effort and some kind of grit, because that's the part that I'm starting to really start to look at this team like, where did it go? And don't sit there and tell me it's just simply because of Thibodeau versus Brown, because I'm looking at Jalen Brunson, I'm looking at Karl Anthony Towns, I'm looking at OG Anunoby, I'm looking at Josh Hart, I'm looking at Mikal Bridges, I'm looking at all of them. Where is your heart? Because lately, this level of inconsistency is not a matter of, whether shots are falling or not. It's a matter of how much heart do you have inside you? Because so far, a 20-something point victory over the Milwaukee Bucks without Giannis and with and being where they are today, that's not going to cut it for me. A 20-something point victory over the Chicago Bulls the other night, that's not going to do it for me. Hell, not even a victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers the other night is going to do it for me. I need to see that you have it in you. And I do not see that. Tonight, yeah, you saw some flashes that they had everything under control against a bad team. Do that against a good one. Do that against someone that's actually out to get you, that are looking at you, the New York Knicks, and saying, I want to beat your ass. And I'm going to do it on national television. I'm going to do it so that way everybody sees it. And you have bum-ass James Harden and Spider doing whatever they wanted the other night in Cleveland. You let Kay Cunningham freaking smoke you and pack you up, essentially by himself. And you're showing no no response to it. I mean, at least you can say, and this is the one comparison I'm going to make between Tibbs and Brown, you show that you have some level of response. Like, you can at least respond back. Like, if somebody comes up to you and smacks you across the face, you at least smack them right back. You might get smacked a second time and get knocked the fuck out, but at least you earned the respect. It's like, fuck you. I'm putting up. You know what I mean? But these Knicks, they're not showing you that fight, not on a consistent basis. And I'm sorry, even though we won, I'm not happy. Mrs. Knicks is not happy. I know Kev's not happy. I know Fraz is not happy. I know wherever he is, T-Time's not happy. And most of you shouldn't be either. But I digress. If you disagree with me, hit me up with a super chat. I'm all good. I'm all good with that.
For me, the three-point shooting is an issue, but the bigger issue for me is not being able to adjust. Like, the coaching staff not being able to adjust. Like, everyone knows once we're in the playoffs, you have to be able to adjust at the drop of a dime. And thus far this season, he hasn't showed me he's able to make adjustments. We always, you see adjustments every now and then, but then we go back to the same nonsense. And so that really concerns me because, we have some days, one day in between games in the playoffs to make adjustments. And whether it's the coach, the team, I don't know. And for me, it's really hard to say it's the team because we have the same team as last year. So that, that's why I throw it on coach because, again, we have the same guys. The same guys that were able to adjust last year, the same guys that showed grit last year, are the same guys on the team this year. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And it just feels like our season of destiny is shit. Almost out, like, I hate to say out of reach, but to me, that's how it feels because of how inconsistent we've been.
So, with this being said, I like to throw it out to the next topic, and I title it the Jekyll and Hyde Knicks because that's the only other way I can do that. How do you each one of you and everyone in the chat, please feel free to chime in. And by chance, if you guys if you have an opinion, you want to show us, hit us up, let us know. We'll let you up. No, all things are welcome. But how do you rectify this and rectify this quickly? Because come Sunday, Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs are coming into town, into Madison Square Garden. They already own a victory over us. We own a victory over them, but it doesn't count. It was the NBA Sippy Cup final. How do you respond? And what do you suggest? Fraz, I'll start off with you.
How do you respond? Well, it starts as responding as a collective. Actually, we've seen the Knicks at times show signs of bouncing back and giving more effort. It's like again, it's just to me a lack of effort, of player effort. Like you gotta be able to close out, be prepared for a switch because teams be trying to exploit Jalen Brunson on the defensive end, and players like Cade Cunningham look for the switch a lot of times, so that way they'll get the matchup they want. And if we not prepared properly, they're just gonna pick us apart, and then it leads to vulnerabilities in the transition game. Like you're not playing no kind of transition defense whatsoever. Other teams is running it up. Like it's all phases of playing basketball.
Kev?
What was the question again, Av?
What would you recommend to what would you like to see to kind of stop this Jekyll and Hyde nonsense that the Knicks have been doing for the last looks like 2 months?
To be honest with you, man, like stop shooting so many fucking threes. Period. Like you a lot of times you shoot yourself out of games with this 3-point averaging of 43 points or 40 plus 3-point shots a game. To me is out of hand, bro. It's not working. That was one of the reasons why the Boston Celtics lost to us last year. Too many 3-point shooting. And when you start relying on that and the shots don't fall, it looks bad. It looks really bad. Yeah, the shots were dropping today. Yeah, we shot 50% from the 3-point line, but that's not consistent enough for me. I want to see that go down to like 30 to 35 at least. I want to see like Mike Brown. I want you to switch it up, man. You're not making no adjustments throughout the 9-game losing streak and as of recent against Detroit and the Cavs. Those are the two teams we got to worry about in the playoffs. And I would like for them to definitely work on their guarding the perimeter. That's another problem, bro. Teams are like killing us from the not for nothing. Milwaukee shot really good from the 3-point line today. And they're a bad team. So imagine what good teams would do to us. So I get Mitch more involved. Get our big men more involved. I think we say it time and time again. You know, we got to get Cat going early. Yes, you know, JB had that 20-point first quarter. That's great. But we got to get our big man more involved if we trying to like make this big push, because you know he's our second guy, and without that, man, we you know we in trouble.
Sis, before you go, you've been the biggest proponent in letting everyone know that the offense needs to run through Cat. And another thing that you've been also stressing is that how about we start having Cat working, you know, at least starting from the post. Tonight, and a little bit during the Cleveland game, you started to see that a little bit more. You started to see Cat operating from the post. Well, it's the high post, but it's still the post. And he's posting guys up, and he's starting to work the interior a little bit more, and not just relying on his 3-point shooting. Let that be something that he adds to the arsenal later. How do we get Karl Anthony Towns more involved and have him be more of the focal point that that you've been stressing?
Jalen Brunson, you're the point guard. He has to do it. He has to. When Jalen realizes that getting Cat going early on will make his job easier throughout the game, that's who it falls on. I mean, we love JB and love what he does. And, you know, nights like tonight where he has it like that, I'm cool with him going for it. But on nights when teams are putting pressure on you, you cannot force it. You have to get Cat involved. You have to, because getting Cat involved means teams have to defend him. They're going to try to throw a second body at him, which will either leave you a little bit open or leave someone else a little bit open. And so Jalen Brunson has to assume the point guard role. And it's just that simple. I mean, teams like Cleveland, who have two big men, and we're going to play technically small ball, right? Because we're not going to match up with two big men. You're not going to see, I doubt in the playoffs, you're going to see the coach go with Cat and Mitch. So technically, we're going to be playing small. You have to get Cat involved to get one of them in foul trouble, and that's it. And the fact that Cat has been playing so well, even defensively, playing smarter than we've seen most of the season, you have to reward him by giving him his shots. You know, not only Cat, but like Kev said, and like the coach promised us and hasn't done, feed Mitch, feed Sohan. These are guys that can finish at the rim. They're guys that will make, points easily. If we continue to rely on the three, we're not going to win. We're not going to win nothing this season. We're just not. Because in a 7-game series, maybe 2, maybe 3 of those games will shoot well. Not 7 in a row, not 4 in a row. I don't even think 4 games out of a 7-game series we're going to shoot 50% or better from the 3-point line. That's just not in our DNA. It's not the team. And so the only way, other than Cat, of turning this around consistently is being able to adjust. Okay, the Knicks it's clear. You want us to take threes. We take some threes early on. If they don't make, you have to adjust. 2 points is better than 0 points, right? 1 + 1 is 2. So you need to make that adjustment. Okay, it doesn't look like they got it tonight from behind the 3. Go to the mid-range. Because who the fuck is going to stop us in the mid-range? No one. No one can stop JB. No one can stop Cat. Damn near no one can stop McCall. When OG goes into the paint, clearly no one can stop him. Like, it's just so simple. To me, it's so simple. We're making it harder on ourselves.
I was looking up at statistics because you were mentioning Cat on the defensive end. For the first 35 games, Karl Anthony Towns was averaging 4.5 fouls a game. Over the last 15, 2.5. So he's made an adjustment. That should just tell you something, that Karl Anthony Towns has either been listening to us, listening to y'all, listening to Twitter, or he's made an adjustment and he's been overall, performing at a much higher level. Now, if you can get the ball, as you were saying, Mrs. Knicks, if Jalen Brunson, who is the captain and pretty much the starting point guard and the only point guard that they really want to run, he has to make that kind of adjustment. Unfortunately, he is a scoring first point guard. He's an isolation scoring point guard. So what happened to the other part of the Mike Brown plan of making Jalen Brunson more of the off guard? Because I saw tonight in bits and pieces when you put Jose Alvarado in there with Karl Anthony Towns, they were operating the pick and roll and working cap from the post. And then when you brought JB back in and had him as the off guard, he was able to be wide open for at least two or three different threes. And that's me saying something. I'm just trying to figure out why they don't go to that more frequently at a more consistent rate and operate the pick and roll as a traditional NBA team. And about 95% of all NBA teams do today. It's one of the most simplest moves, simplest game plans, hardest to defend. Yet the Knicks don't do it almost ever. And I'm just trying to figure out why.
Right. Not only his foul went down, but you look at him hustling more, something you're not going to see on the stats, right? He's blocking more shots. His rebounding has always been there. So you have to reward big men when they do the right things. You know what I mean? You can't. And I feel the same way about Mitch. Like, Mitch ain't out there just getting cardio. You know what I mean? Make him, in his little limited minutes, he can get us 6, 8, 10 points. Throw up the fucking alley-oop. Anywhere close to the rim, it's going in with Mitch there. Like, it's just, why not get 10 easy points? Why not?
Why easy
points.
Why don't you just post up the clip of that I sent the chat this morning of Mike Brown saying it himself? He said it himself. It came right out of his mouth. Oh, well, with the vertical leap of Mitchell Robinson, we can throw up 3 lobs a game. That's exactly what he said. He said it just like that.
And when we do see a lob, it's from someone else. It's from Alvarado. It's from
Alvarado is the only one that looks for Mitch sometimes. The only one. I can't think of anybody else that throws lobs to Mitch, bro. Hardly ever.
Kev words just ring more every time I hear this topic. The Knicks should be attacking the basket. It's like, why should points in the paint go down when you acquire somebody like Karl Anthony Towns? Listen, stop worrying about the foul calls. Continue to play your game. There's no reason why you switch up your game unless it's you getting into foul trouble. Yes, we see that. We just mentioned that. But like scoring wise, this guy is an easy 20 and 10 guy every game. Like that version of Cat, that's the version of Cat that we need to show up.
I think all right, Stephen Kennedy bugging, bench JB and Harper Alvarado.
I'm not surprised that he says stuff like that because I already know Steven for quite a while already, and I'm used to this. So back in the day, he probably would have got me upset, but now as I've been doing this for a while, shit like that don't even faze me no more. Because you're not gonna bench the most clutchest player in the fourth quarter. You're not gonna bench that guy, especially and listen, I love Jose. I'm a super fan of homie. You know what I mean? And what he brings and the kind of the spark that he brings off the bench. But you're not gonna bench Jalen Brunson for fucking Jose Alvarado. I'd fire you instantly, bro. I'd fire you, bro. I don't even want you running my team if you do something like that, bro.
Bro, I would ban you from New York City
Right, like to be
and
honest,
have 5 on your ass.
right, like to be honest with you, bro. If I'm gonna do something, I'm trying to put both of them on the floor together, and that that to me works. You know what I'm saying? And people say, "Oh, they too small." Well, you know what? I've seen different so far. You know, um, listen, man. As this team just got to get it together, bro. You know, once these guys just get everything together and just figure it out on the defensive end, because that's just been our biggest issue so far. You know, that's something right there we haven't even been able to figure out completely yet.
I don't usually side with Stephen Kennedy, but he did bring up half of a good point. Half of a good point, because he said bench JB and you know, all that stuff. But do you think that if we pull some of the minutes from Josh Hart and give it to Mohamed Diawara so that he can cook some more? Because I mean, considering what, you know, Mo played 23 minutes for 10 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. Do you think that he needs more burn over Josh Hart, or you just think he just needs more burn?
No, I'm not. I'm Josh Hart is getting what Josh Hart gets, bro. Because Josh Hart, it brings another kind of dynamic to this team. He's a switch army knife, bro. And I love Diawara. I think he's developing great the way we're playing him. But I'm not gonna you know, Josh Hart has brought winning to this team, bro. You know, you could put Josh Hart on anybody. He's dependable. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and cut his minutes. He's like, I would say, our second best leader on the team, holds everybody accountable. That's
Yeah,
the
let's
guy
bench
you
him.
want on the floor,
Let's
bro.
bench him.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna do that. You know, like, you know, everybody, oh, he can't shoot. Well, this year says completely different. He's gotten better and better with his shot. It didn't fall today like that, but usually he banks them shits down. You know, I think that you should keep playing the Yawara like the way he's doing right now, bro. You know what I mean? And developing him the way he's being developed right now is perfect. You know, I don't know why people
Raz?
want to make these. Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't know why people all of a sudden want to make these drastic decisions and forget what these guys have brought to the New York Knicks. Let's just bench a guy, 2 guys that just helped us get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and what they had to do to get us there. Let's just bench those guys. Like, I don't understand it, bro. The mindset is it's crazy to me.
It's almost like that same crazy talk for Cam Reddish a couple of years ago before we traded his monkey ass for Josh Hart. It's the same logic. It's like, let's keep on playing this young guy. He can develop. He can develop. We're not in it for development. We're in it for a championship. But I digress. Parlay Lord.
Nah, there's nothing wrong with Josh Hart, especially the way he's playing. Do you see the way he's playing? Like him and JB literally got us to uh double digit lead early on and just took off from there. The next one over 1 quarter, I think. There was 1 quarter where it was even, but the Knicks won 3 out of 4 quarters today. Again, still, you know, I don't think DOR should get more of Josh Hart's minutes.
Yeah, I don't think, you know, it's unfortunate for Mo because he's super talented. You know, he still has development, you know, developing to do. But you don't take away time from a guy who clearly put in work in the offseason, who clearly came into this season better than he was last season. You don't take out a guy who, once put into the starting lineup this season, changed the team, right? Let's not forget what we were like, won 9 in a row or something like that with him in the starting lineup. Like you don't make those type of decisions based off of a game or two. Josh hasn't played bad. He has yet to show us why we should lessen his minutes. So it's unfortunate for Mo. It's kind of like the same situation that IQ was in, where it's like you're playing behind a guy who's, at the top of his game right now. And so you have to get in where you fit in, right? Luckily for Mo, he's learning from great guys. And so he's able to develop, like Knickerbocker said, this ain't a season where we're trying to develop players or mess with lineups. This is a season we're trying to win a championship. So you put the best players that you have on the court. Now, could he get more minutes in situations where maybe the matchup is better with him? Maybe. Maybe that's not taking Josh's minutes. Maybe it's taking Mikhail's minutes. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like, those type of adjustments is not okay, this is what it gotta be. Look at matchups. Where do we, how do we match up against this team? Could this be a better option? We have that type of talent where we can make those type of adjustments. We just haven't done so this season. But absolutely, you do not take Josh's minutes, not unless it's a poor matchup combo. That's the only thing I think of.
To be honest with you, I think these are all emotional takes.
Yes.
Emotional takes, bro. You know what I mean? Because things are not working to their plan. That's what it's all is, bro. You know what I mean? It's every year it's the same bullshit.
It's always that play the kids narrative. Play the kids,
man,
play the kids.
Bro. And I mean, I'm all for playing the kids. It's just, when we were saying play the kids, it was because the kids were better than what the fuck we had playing, right?
Yeah.
Right now, the kids ain't better than what we have playing. Can they contribute? Absolutely. Are they talented? Absolutely. But they're not better than Josh. Mo is not better than Josh. Right?
Yeah.
And let's not forget, a lot of what Josh does, you don't find in the stat sheet. You just don't. The energy he brings, the intensity he brings, he still is probably the best rebounding small guy in the league. Let's not forget this stuff. Like you said, Kev, it's emotional. And bro, get emotional when we win a chip. That's when we get emotional.
Right.
I'm getting drunk that day. What are you talking about?
Big facts, champagne bottles.
Yeah, because and Steven, I respect you, bro, but what you're talking about is craziness. You're talking about bringing up Tyler because he's a better shooter and floor general, bringing up Mo because he's a better shooter and better perimeter defender, doing this, playing 25 minutes. Bro, you're not going to do and alter the starting five that was the best starting five in the NBA last season that is still intact. Now, if any of those guys go down for an injury, obviously you spot them some minutes. But keep this in mind, please. Keep this in mind, folks. We're not at full strength. What do you think is going to happen to Diawara's minutes, to Alvarado's minutes, to Mitch's? I don't think Mitch's minutes is going to get messed with. But all those guys' minutes, all those guys I just mentioned, even Sohan and all of them, what do you think their minutes are going to do when Deuce McBride comes back?
Yeah.
Deuce is due to come back at least by like the last 10 games of the season. And that's what in 10 games.
No, I think he's out for the rest of the regular season.
No,
No, no,
he's
no. It said he can miss up to the entire regular season, but
Yeah.
it could be up to only 6 weeks. So anywhere from 6 weeks to the end of regular season
Mm-hmm.
Right.
from
And
when
I'll
he
be
has
honest
to.
with you, and I'll be honest with you, I'd rather him, I mean, yeah, he's gonna be on minutes restrictions regardless. Cause you already see how they treat Mitch, and he's been pretty injury prone this year, Deuce McBride. So
maybe in the
I think
first round, I think. Maybe
I
in the
think
first
that they're
round
gonna
they'll put him under his restriction.
Well, I think
yeah,
it's.
because
I think
I think they're
if
gonna
the Knicks
take
can
it
get him back in the 6 week mark, and then he got 10 games to play in the regular season, then those will be the minute restriction games. And come playoff time, we good to go.
You see?
it just depends on how he's feeling and how good is that injury healed for us
Yeah.
to really see him, play the last 10 games of the season. Because if he's still, not fully healed, I don't think we should push it. Pause.
See him before the playoffs. We gotta see at least a couple of games because we need to see if he still got it, like if he's still in rhythm, if he's still, because if not, then we know, okay, Jose, it's on you. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
there has to be a game plan because clearly this coach don't adjust. So we need to know before the first game of the playoffs what it's going to look like.
To be honest with you, I mean, I guess it depends because you know how he likes to he likes to mix things up. He likes to play starters with the bench players. So I don't know. He's gonna have a really big problem on his hands come playoff time.
Fraz, any thoughts?
Again, it's like you've got to know your opponent and understand how to adjust. The problem is you did this. You kept doing the same thing, and you keep getting the same result. I've said it before on here. They have to learn to adjust, do something different. Threes ain't working. Start playing pick and roll. I always say the double high screen is one of those plays to run that it definitely gives JB an option and confuses people, especially if you got Cat as one of the screeners. So like
So the Knicks finished the month of February with an 8-4 record, much better than what they did in January. But this is the upcoming schedule. Let me pull down this banner.
Ooh, wow,
That
wow,
that's the month of March, folks.
yeah.
We opened
wow,
up the month, at home in San Antonio, then in Toronto against the defending champion on Wednesday night. Then on the
wow.
road, then that West Coast swing finally kicks in. Denver, LA,
Shit.
Utah, then at Indiana. Then we hosted. I mean, y'all can read it. The only saving grace is that we play Utah in there, and then we play Brooklyn and Washington and New Orleans before we have to head to Oklahoma City to close out the month.
Is that the Pacers
Wow,
in there before Golden State?
Twice. That's two games against the
wow,
Pacers.
wow. But I'm gonna tell you this:
Mm.
Spurs, Raptors, Oklahoma, Denver, Lakers. That's gonna be a huge test for the Knicks. Huge test, bro. This is what we're gonna. This is where we're gonna find out what this team is about. You know what I mean? This is the time for the Knicks to be like, all right, it's time to show the league that we about that life. Because let me tell you
And
something, the Spurs, They are busting ass in the Western Conference, bro. They are young and hungry. Okay, Toronto, I don't know where they at in the standings right now. I think they like five or six, right? If I'm not mistaken.
They are 5. They're sitting at 5,
Five,
two games behind Cleveland.
right. Denver, we seen them. That was a good game. Oklahoma City, they injured. I think
They're
I think
they're at full
SGA is
strength right
down.
now. No, he's
From what
back.
I Oh, he's back. And Jalen
He's
Williams is
back.
back too or not?
I
Now,
believe
from what I
so.
remember,
That's
they
good.
both
Just
was
came
down.
back.
So SGA
Yeah,
just
that's
came
good.
back,
Just came back.
but they still down Jalen Williams. So they not at full strength. Um and I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty confident when it comes to the Lakers. I think we could beat them and the Clippers with no problem. But those first four teams, San Antonio, Raptors, Oklahoma, and Denver, those are the games that I'm up in the air about, to be honest.
It's kind of crazy because we always talk about that fake fan. We call him the fake fan, Stephen A. And it says the season is over. I think the season's not
Wow.
over yet,
Wow.
but if we go through this month and we don't really do something like make some progress during this month, then you can definitively say that it's probably over, because this is where our playoff seeding is going to rest, ladies and gentlemen. The Spurs at Toronto against the champs in Denver, then the two LA teams. We got a reprieve minute a little bit with Utah. We owe the Pacers one. Then the Warriors, then the Pacers, and again. Finally, we got a break and take on the Nets, and then we're back on it again, because after this month, it's only 6 more games. And I mean, it ain't shit, but at the same time, this is the make it or break it kind of. This is the true test. So whatever you guys are thinking, how many games is that? It's like 12, 13 games. It's 14 games. How do you?
Can
What's reasonable? What's fair? What do what do you predict the Knicks will do over these next 14 games? 2 huge road trips, and none of them are friendly.
I say something, man?
Yes, sir.
Que se vaya Stephen A. Smith para carajo, brother.
Eh,
This is the same dude. This is the same dude that told me last year we was getting bumped in the first round. If I remember correctly. I don't want to hear what Stephen A. Smith got to say, bro. Fuck him. Respectfully. You ain't a real Knicks fan, bro. You always got some kind of doubt when it comes to this team. And then when it comes down to it, you switch up when we start playing well. I don't take anything that man says serious, bro. I really don't. So, you know, don't talk to me about no Stephen A. Smith.
But wait, I thought we owned Toronto in recent games. Like,
we
wait,
have
hold on.
we have we pretty much have handled them, but they've always had our number for some weird reason. Toronto is kind of like how Tampa Bay is with the Yankees. It's kind of
Right.
like that. No matter where it is, it's like we can.
Oh,
It's like
God.
sometimes they could come up and smack us in the mouth, and we're like, yo, the fuck.
And for some reason, when it comes to those teams, we get in trouble sometimes, bro.
Mrs. Nix, prediction. You're on mute.
The issue with Toronto is our defense. They have guys that can score. They have shooters. And we can't
Right.
defend the 3-point line. That's our fucking problem.
Yeah.
But to
What's
be
her name?
honest, huh?
Yeah, you're right.
But to be honest, I stand on it. We play Knicks basketball. If we can play the way we played tonight against any team in the league, we're unstoppable. It's just that simple. When the ball is moving, well, we had 33 assists today. When the ball is moving, we are unstoppable. Y'all think I just be picking numbers out my ass? No. Look at the facts. Every time, almost every time, we've gotten more than 25 assists. We're winning basketball games. When the ball sticks and we just decide to chuck up threes, we lose. It's simple. We play Knicks basketball, we win. Teams will be scared as fuck to see us in a series if we can consistently move the ball, take smart shots, stop forcing shit, and play our game. Fuck what the coach is saying. I don't give a fuck. I want to win. Whatever it takes to win. You see, you're the player. You see your 3-point shot ain't going down. Stop fucking taking it. Go into the paint. Get someone else involved. Do something else. We can't keep forcing it because it's costing us games. It's costing us games. Do we want to see Detroit early on in the playoffs? Not really. Am I scared of them? Not really scared of them, but I still don't want to see them early on.
Especially not in the first round, man. Yeah.
I think Stephen Kennedy said it best right here. If we are anything less than the third seed, it's probably over, because then that would mean we would face the Detroit Pistons in round 2. If everything stands as it is, if we're in the 4, that means we play Toronto in the first round, and that's not going to be an easy series, considering what you just mentioned, Mrs. Knicks, is that, you know, they do have shooters. They do have we haven't been playing tough defense. It should be a 5-game gentleman's sweep. However, then you're right in hell, because you have to go up to Detroit for games 1 and 2, where you did not fare well in 2 out of the 3 meetings, and then of course you haven't beaten this team at all. Now, given we do have that feather in our cap. Last year, we went 0-10 and this, that, and the third, and blah blah blah. We ended up beating the Celtics. But the Celtics had the same problem that year that we have now. What do you do when the shots are not falling and you're not defending? Well, then that's what ends up happening. You end up getting eliminated. And in the Celtics case last season, they were dethroned. They were the defending NBA champions, and they were dethroned. And on top of that, they lose their superstar to a freak accident, which now a lot of people are talking about that he's coming back.
Well, Boston is stupid for that. But anyway,
I'm not disagreeing with you at all, because I think
that that you can win a championship, you do not
exactly
bring him back. But let me say this about Detroit, because a lot of fans are scared of them. And I will say this, they're tough. I think they learned a lot from getting eliminated by us last season. But I will say this, they have been allowed to play a lot more aggressive than most teams in the league. And, the fact that they complained last season about how aggressive we played, and now are just straight up shoving dudes on the court, like straight trying to bully dudes and being allowed to do it. The league has to, in order for any team to beat them, it has to be called fair, right? If you're going to allow them to push and throw dudes on the floor, like I seen them throwing Wemby the other night, and you don't allow the other team to be that same way, you're basically giving Detroit a championship. That if that's what the league is going to do, let us know early on, right? But you can't allow that shit. It can't be allowed. It has to be a fair game. You know what I mean? Like, we can play physical too. Then they be complaining and bitching and moaning. But y'all not about to be throwing our guys on the floor the way you threw Wemby on the ground the other night, the way you threw Castle on the floor the other night. Like, you're not about to come bully us like that.
To be honest with you, I think beating Detroit is like what you said earlier, moving the basketball. You got to move that ball around, bro. You can't
And
play
play smart,
isolation.
no
Yeah,
turnovers.
no turnovers. You can't allow them to score points or off of those turnovers because I think they lead the league and all that, bro. Detroit, I'm not scared of Detroit, but I respect them because they're a fucking tough team. And like you said, the refs let them play physical, but when you play them, you got to overcome all that shit. You know what I mean? And I think a big part of that is you playing team basketball. It can't be me. I'm playing I. No, 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 no. Everybody got to be on the same page, on both ends of the court. Like you got to match their intensity, bro.
And
Because
to be honest,
Detroit,
that's the series that you got to get Cat involved early because
right?
their whole game plan is stopping Jalen Brunson. Their
And that
entire game plan is stop Jalen Brunson.
and if you look at the
Get
numbers
Cat the
last
ball.
year, if you look at the numbers last year in the playoffs, Cat's numbers were really good against the Pistons last year. So yeah, like we've been listen. If you go back to last year, we've been saying this since last year. Cat has to be the number one option. Get the ball through Cat. It's been a broken record. You know what I mean? And it takes a massive amount of pressure off of Jalen Brunson. So, but the coach gotta get Cat going. It starts off with him. If he
Yep.
doesn't do it, if Coach Mike Brown doesn't start getting Cat involved early, and we start becoming this 3-point shooting team that in my opinion, I don't think we are. We're not gonna win a championship this year. We're not. We're not. We're gonna get bounced early.
You know what's kind of crazy, and this is the sad part about the situation. Because and we'll probably close out on this. So I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. We will be back on Sunday afternoon after the Knicks take on the San Antonio Spurs at 1 p.m. on ABC. So I was just thinking to myself, we opened the season. I opened the season saying that this is the season we've waited our whole lives for. This is the season of destiny, and this is because if we don't do it now, when? Because how
Right.
realistic is this championship window really open for? I'm telling you like this, it's only open for this season. Because you know exactly what's going to happen. You know exactly what is going to happen should the Knicks not win the NBA championship and worse, if they don't make at least the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what's going to happen. Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, whole bunch of other guys. Bye. Off to Milwaukee. Welcome, Giannis. You
That's
already know that's going to happen.
That's terrible.
It's terrible, but it's true.
It's sad that
That's not a prediction. In the words of the Oracle Paul Heyman, that's a spoiler. Take that for what you will.
all
You
that
know
that
that's what's going to happen.
that wrestling stuff is all scripted though. That's all scripted. All that shit is fucking, this is this, the NBA is different. I mean, listen, whatever Leon does, I trust, Do I think it's the right move? I don't think so. I just don't think so, bro. You know what I mean? And he's out with an injury right now and probably the whole year for the rest of the season.
I don't think he's
We
injured.
might
I don't even think he's injured. He's just
right.
refusing to play.
So right. And do you really want that? I don't. I don't. I don't want that attitude here, bro. It's not gonna go well. It's not. And to be honest with you, I don't. I think it's bad. He's a rental basically to me. He's a rental to me. He gotta agree. If we make a trade for somebody like him, it gotta be that you gotta agree to a contract with us before we make this deal. Cause if not, then no, I'm not gonna make this deal, bro.
I don't think you can anyway.
And
Because
and
then
then
that he would have to be traded, then sign the extension. That's kind of how
yeah,
it would
nah.
work.
So yeah,
Because then
I mean,
because any extension he signs, it would prolong the ability for the Bucks to make a trade. I think that's kind of how it
right.
works. But yeah, but you already know that's going to happen because it's either that or what's the other bullshit pipe dream that people are putting on Instagram now? Oh, LeBron wants to come here and have his
Fuck
retirement tour.
no.
Oh my god.
Just saying,
Let me
the
say
bullshit.
no. He had every opportunity for I don't know how many motherfucking years, his whole career, to come to the
15.
Knicks when we wasn't shit. Since you ain't come to us when we wasn't shit, we don't want you when we are shit.
Nah. That's what I'm saying. Like this year should be the perfect time to win a championship because of the fact that you got a team like Detroit who's really good. Because of the fact that even if Jason Tatum come back, what's gonna be the excuse? What's
Right.
gonna be the excuse they're gonna have for the Knicks when we win a championship and we beat a team like
No,
Cleveland?
he wasn't ready.
When we beat a team like Cleveland with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell and Dennis Schroeder and all these guys on that team, what's gonna be the
Oh,
excuse?
he
You know what
old.
I mean? Like, yo, bro, listen, this is the perfect time, bro. And Kendrick Perkins was right when he told Jalen Brunson what he told him, bro. You are right now. This is the perfect opportunity for you to win a championship here in New York City, bro. The perfect time, bro. Cause it's gonna be so sweet. All the teams that y'all said we couldn't beat, and we beat them when it mattered most, and then we go and beat one of those tough teams in the Western Conference, bro. It's gonna be so sweet. These guys got to be locked in, though. We need these guys to be locked in. Fuck LeBron James. Fuck Giannis, bro. Fuck all them dudes, bro. None of them dudes are here. None of them dudes ever chose to be here when they had the opportunity to be here. Fuck all them guys, bro.
Well,
You
Giannis wants
know?
to get here now, but
Yo, man, you 30 plus years old. You always hurt now. You can't even finish the season. Like
and you quit on your team.
and you quit on your
Right.
team. You quit on your franchise, bro. That's a red flag for me, man. That's a red flag. You want me to give up Mitch, not Mitch, you want Josh, OG, Mikal, you want me to you know what? I'd rather
Four-fifths
keep
of your
those
starting
guys.
five.
Right, I'd rather keep those guys, bro. Say what I don't care what nobody say, bro. I'd rather keep those guys and keep working and building. Fuck that. You know what though? It took the Warriors years to win a championship, bro. Years for them to become the organization that they became. It took San Antonio years to be what they are right now.
Actually, not really.
It took them a couple of years.
Couple years, but we're on year 52 and counting. So
I get it, but you're not gonna win a championship overnight, bro.
But
Teams
they've
don't win
also had
championships.
consistency. They've also had consistency in their team. We
They
haven't.
have.
Yeah.
okay. Well, you guys be the judge. We will see you on Sunday afternoon following the Knicks and Spurs. Thank you so very much for joining us. I did see in our private chat the man is wearing his hat proudly today. He's up 740? What was it? 740,
Yes,
760
sir. Yes,
on his
sir.
parlays, and You got to get with him. You hit him up on social media. He'll hit you up. And also be sure to hit up the Knicks and Niche Shopify and cop yourself a new Parlay Lord hat. I may actually catch one now because I need my own hat. Fuck that.
Steve, 8 years is a long time, bro. 8 years is a long time. Okay, we on year 5.
Okay.
True.
With this new, it is with Leon Rose. That's year 5, bro. Everything else before that don't count.
I'm sorry. I have too many years of PTSD that says that it does. I'm sorry. Too many years of therapy.
With this new management and what they put together compared to it's like night and day, bro. Come on, man. It's night and day, bro. Night and day. They put together a really solid. We haven't seen a team like this in years, bro. No team before that. Not even Patrick Ewing had a team like this. Let's talk about it. I mean, facts, bro. Facts.
I agree.
Facts, bro. I don't care what nobody tell me right now, bro. Patrick Ewing never had a team like this.
It's a fact.
Come on, man. Patrick Ewing never had a Jalen Brunson. Come on, man. Come on, man. We never had 2 stars in one team like this at the prime of their career, bro. Come on, man. What are we talking about here? This guy, Leon Rose, has been the best fucking front office guy we've had in years. And in 5 years, he took us to the Eastern Conference Finals. What are we talking about?
Okay. I thought we were heading into a rant almost, but we were heading in that direction, weren't we? Like the button's right there.
So,
but
we need to get it together, guys.
We definitely do. Consistency is the key here, folks. And if anybody in the New York Knicks front office and organization and or the team are watching, consistency and heart is all I'm asking. Consistency and heart. Show some pride in what you're doing and in the uniform that you're wearing. If not for us, for yourselves. Because right now, I'm a flat out saying y'all playing like cowards. Y'all been playing like bitches. And I don't like saying that about my team. But I got to call a spade a spade. Straight up. But that will conclude the Ish portion of Knicks and Ish. We want to thank each and every one of you for showing up tonight. We appreciate you. Those who are catching us on the replay gang, thank you so very much. Be sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe to your favorite channel. Sharing is always caring. Be sure to to take the link from YouTube, paste it on in your Facebook groups and all your social media. Share this. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We've been fighting for that for a while now, and it's annoying the shit out of me because I know that we got this. I know we got loyal people out there that love us, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to do that." Just do that for us. 1 second, it'll help us out. It'll get the algorithm moving in our direction, and we can get this to be on and popping on a more routine basis, and we can start inviting y'all up here. You know what I'm saying? Because we can have this, this dialogue all night.
Right.
But it's Friday night. We tired of shit.
Me and Anna used to bring people up all the time.
And you know what? I definitely want to bring that up again. I definitely want to have that, that going for us. And but we need you. We need your help. So continue to to hit like, continue to subscribe, continue to share, and is always caring. We will see you on Sunday afternoon after the Knicks take on the San Antonio Spurs. So for Mr. Yatu Sabe, Kev Rodriguez, for the Parlay Lord, who's a whole lot richer now, Fraz Taz, and of course the First Lady, Mrs. Knicks. I'm your boy, the infamous one, Knickerbocker Avenue, saying thank you very much. Keep talking that ish, New York, and somebody has to say it.
Hit the outro.
Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are grit. These kids and our party just lit. That is the lit it.